Hello and welcome to the Boomtown Hoops post-game show. We are tied, ladies and gentlemen. The Thunder. Oh yeah. Thunder just won. I think that should say Game 4 by a final score of 117-114.
They did win Game 3.
They did, so nothing's wrong. Series is tied 2-2. We're going to get right into it. Full disclosure, I missed it, and I'm really disappointed because it sounds like it was great. Bobby, talk to me about your feelings right now.
Well, that is exactly what I wanted to see out of Oklahoma City. That was 48 games of really good, consistent basketball. They didn't get too low when Houston went on their massive run. They didn't try to do anything too fancy. They played their brand of basketball, stayed aggressive, and covered Houston's shooters. Eventually, they went cold. Thunder pulled out the win. It just incredible basketball from Oklahoma City. You'll love to see it.
I like that. As I understand it, the game was tied at halftime. Josh, what happened in that third quarter?
Well, they came out of the gates, and the Rockets just absolutely were scorching the Nets. They made 8 straight threes. They were 8 of 8 coming out of the half. And I tweeted as such, Oklahoma City, it really felt like they just needed to weather the storm. It was just, nobody is going to keep up with any team when they make 8 threes in a row. You just have to hang tough, and they did a great job of that. CP3 and Dennis with the mid-range game, not panicking and just launching threes of their own, trying to keep up. Just they're hot right now. Just hang tough here. And they got down by 15, but it could have been a lot worse. You make 8 threes in a row. They came out just absolutely. They went from 60 at halftime to 90 in a blink. But the Thunder did a good job to hang in there. They worked their way back, ended the quarter on a 21-7 run, and then got the first bucket of the fourth quarter. So 23-7 run overall to, close the gap and get the lead back. And that really felt like the single difference in the game was that run that could have been the knockout blow, could have buried OKC. They could have ran away with it. It didn't. The Thunder handled it, absorbed it, stayed calm. And it's crazy that these young guys, Dort, SGA, and then Baisley, and then obviously CP3 and Dennis are young guys, but they all just so even keel, just to completely keep playing their game, keep running good offense. The offense was so good today and just hung in there and then just outplayed them in clutch time, which is what they've done all season to everybody.
They have. And quick show of hands, who thought the series was over early in the third quarter?
Early when they had like 6 points with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I'm going to check your tweets and verify that. I have a feeling there may have been some meltdowns.
I think I was too upset to tweet. I'm not going to lie. I was a blob on the floor. That's
bad. The next level of upset too when you're too upset to tweet. All right, Cody, we got another big game from the point guards. Talk to me about the three-headed monster.
Yeah, they played fantastic. They scored 74 points tonight. They had 78 in Game 3. They're just playing masterful right now. Dennis is attacking the rim and just scoring at will. He's got that Van Fleet game going again. Hopefully it can continue the rest of this series. And then CP3 and SGA, they're just playing great right now. 10 of 19 for CP3, 7 of 17 for SGA. He led us in assists and rebounds, SGA did. Really did it all. And then CP3 was just, like Josh said, handling the storm that the Rockets had going. And, man, it was just exciting. It was so much fun.
Got to give Cody credit on that, calling it for that, Dennis with having the baby thing. Because, his first 2 games he was awful. He was our worst key player. He's balling out of his mind these last 2. Give Dennis so much credit. He's been our best player the last 2 games.
Well, that leads into my next question. Jesse, talk to me about Schroeder. Is he back right now? Is it dad strength? What's going on?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I was worried Game 1 and 2. We saw him kind of turn it on in Game 3, and he's kind of just never stopped. I think when they finally figured out how to attack the Rockets defense, they've obviously looked a lot better. So, yeah, we need more of that in Game 5.
We do. Josh, you went on a tirade in our last show discussing how Lou Dort is the Harden stopper. You called him the clamp god. How did he do on James Harden today?
He did okay. It wasn't as good as the last game, but that's a high bar. He's still frustrated, Harden. You could just see Harden's face. He was just getting irritated. We were talking. He knocked over the hand sanitizer thing whenever they left the court after they lost. He's getting annoyed, and in the Rockets, basically their whole offense right now is basically try to get somebody else onto Harden, and if you can't, kick it out to somebody to launch a three. I mean, they set the record for most threes attempted in a playoff game for is either the third straight game or the third time this series. But Dort did a nice job. He made a few threes, which was nice. He came out and hit two like right away. I was like, Dort's gonna go for like a 30 piece today, but he got 9. But we'll take that, and Lou's impact is gigantic, and it can't be overstated the fact that he picked up his 5th foul relatively early in this game and managed to not foul out, guarding James Harden of all people. He stayed in the game, which was. It felt like it was inevitable that Dort was going to get fouled out, and it was just kind of be, oh boy, we're going to have somebody else guard Harden. I mean, in the first half, he had 3, and Billy put T. Ferg out there for a little while. It scared me, but I was like, I can't live in a world where T. Ferg plays clutch time minutes at the end of this game. But we didn't have to go down any kind of road like that because Dort did such a good job not fouling out, which was it's a small thing but huge that he could keep himself on the floor. And boy, Lou Dort is the absolute man. Jeez.
I agree. I think we all agree. Let's see here. I'm looking at not a great day for Danilo Gallinari.
No.
Cody, what'd you see from that guy? I mean, you would expect a high-scoring win over Houston. He would have to hit some threes. That was not the case. What happened there?
He was just off today. He had a lot of open shots. They just weren't falling for him. And we've seen this a couple times in the bubble games. Sometimes he just goes cold and just not able to manufacture points. And that's what happened tonight. Luckily, we were able to have other guys step up and kind of cover for him. But, if we want to continue this series to, win and go to 7 games, we're going to have Gallinari come up big and have some big games. So hopefully he can get his rhythm back next game. And, sorry, I'm just kind of speechless right now. I'm still thinking about this win.
I'm going to have to catch a replay on that one. Bobby, we talked about Steven Adams in the last show. He scored in double figures today, 12 points, 8 rebounds. What did you see out of Big Kiwi, and do you think he had his best game of the series?
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying his best. He, at least statistically, his best was game 1. We don't really like to talk about it, but I think I will say I really enjoyed the strategy that the Thunder implemented with not just him, but Nerlens Noel as well. I feel like they finally made their presence felt in terms of getting Houston to bite on a couple more fouls. They made it difficult on Houston to get those rebounds. It was a scrappy performance by both of them. I don't think either of them were a liability at any time, which is something that honestly, probably the first time in the series I've been able to say. Officially, honestly, it was just a solid performance out of Adams and Noel. So for the can't play either of them crowd, I guess they just showed up and gave you a rebuttal. Yeah, I guess you can.
But Billy had Adams not on the floor at the end of the game. And again, it worked. And, that's that small ball lineup. I didn't really think Billy would go to it in clutch time. I just think he's so married to the 3 guards because it's their best lineup statistically. But he had Dort out there at the end, and he subbed out Steve. Yeah. He let Gallo play the 5 in key stretches of the game. And, it's hard to argue with the results here. 2 wins.
Oh, if we're talking about a, down the stretch lineup, definitely, yeah. Don't put Adams in there. He was okay as just a guy because, you really don't want to shrink your bench that much. You're only playing 8 guys in this game, 9, with a couple Ferg minutes. But really that lineup down the stretch, going small, really frustrated Houston because it really was able to break up their passing lanes, especially on defense. Well, that's the only time you pass, but you get the point. It was really good on defense.
Yeah.
Jesse, before the series started, there were a lot of Thunder fans teetering on the edge of maybe rooting for the Rockets because of Russell Westbrook. As the series has progressed, I feel like it's souring, and apparently that boiled to a head today. Talk to me about the drama with Russ, and how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit easier this series with him on the bench, at least for me. I'm not quite ready to see him in this playoff series, but I do think he'll probably be back soon if he's relatively healthy. It was hard to see them kind of chirping back and forth. I definitely don't like it. I think after last game, I was kind of joking around saying, okay, Russ, you can stop playing with your new friends, but I didn't like seeing it. And now I'm worried that he'll be back for game 5 and it's just going to hurt even more.
Yeah,
he's playing game 5.
I feel like we're reaching that point. What was said? Who was he chirping back and forth? I think you guys said Steven Adams.
Well, it started. It was definitely Russ and Dennis. Russ is over in his bench, and Dennis is around like half court. I don't know what they were actually chirping about. I don't think anybody really knows exactly what was said. But then Steve came over and kind of, you could read his lips. He kind of was telling Russ just get back to his bench, in his Kiwi voice. And they were going back and forth. It was fun. It was fun. I liked it. It adds more energy, and I think Russ is going to definitely play Game 5. I mean, it would shock me if he didn't, truthfully. So just add some extra juice to a series that's already awesome.
Yeah,
I seem to have seen somewhere that he was out talking to the refs, and they were like, "Get back to your bench. You're not even playing the game. Stop. Stop. Just stop it." Yeah.
Oh, we got a question on this topic from our man Ben Perez. Does Russell Westbrook coming back make the Rockets easier to guard? Cody?
That's a tough question, honestly. There are going to be less 3-pointers because he's going to be driving more. But if there is one thing that we've seen kind of our weakness, and it's kind of getting a little bit better now, we've given up a lot of points in the paint. So it's going to be interesting to see who we're going to have on Russell, preventing him from getting into the lane and getting those easy buckets. So at one end, it is going to be kind of easier since there's going to be less 3-pointers. But at the same time, it's Russell Westbrook coming at you, and we know how athletic and ferocious he can be. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like the Thunder have struggled when they've let off Eric Gordon. So switch the roles of Eric Gordon and Russell Westbrook. You're going to have a massive problem inside. Gordon has been getting to the rim and finishing with relative ease. Yeah, honestly, there's a way Russell Westbrook can really hurt us here if Eric Gordon's doing that. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to overthink this one. Russell Westbrook's a future Hall of Fame point guard. He makes the Rockets a lot better, and I don't think they're easier to guard. I mean, outside of James Harden, it's really a team just made up of role players, that can play really well or they can play really bad. And for a while today, they played awesome, and then they got cold fast. Russ is not like that. He's going to give them 25 points. He is, in the playoffs. And like you said, Bobby, with Eric Gordon pretty much is bullying his way to the rim pretty much the whole series. And that worries me for Russell Westbrook. And I don't know who's going to really guard who we have that I can feel good with him guarding Russell Westbrook, because Dort's got Harden. So who's got Russ? Shea, that scares me. Shea's defense has not been very good this series. CP3 is old. Yeah, I don't know. It's scary. It's scary. I don't know what to do with Russ. And Russ, I'm having a hard time remembering all the games, but I know that whenever he came back to Oklahoma City, even though the Thunder blew them out in that game, Russ still tore us up pretty good. I don't remember his stat lines in the other games, to be totally honest, but I feel like Russ is primed to give us some problems.
I'll say this. Who would you be more afraid of wide open for 3? Eric Gordon or Russell Westbrook right now?
I think we all know the answer to that question.
Well, Eric Gordon's been pretty bad.
I know, but pretty bad.
Russ is awful. We can say that now.
Oh, no.
He's a terrible 3-point shooter, but what kind of world are we in where, maybe Eric Gordon's getting to the rim and where Russ is going to maybe be shooting threes. I'm like, my brain is in a pretzel.
It's the upside down, I guess. Honestly, just having Russ on Houston already makes this the upside down. So
yeah, it's a weird world we are living in. And Josh, you mentioned the Rockets role players. I see Jeff Green came back to earth with a -13
finally
in his 32 minutes. So farewell to Jeff Green. That looks like who we thought George was supposed to be.
He came out hitting them too, and I was literally thinking, I don't know if I've ever seen Jeff Green miss a 3. Like that's how it felt. He came out and hit a couple in the first half, but yes, blessed up. He cooled off finally, because I got to be honest, I'm getting real sick of Jeff Green beating us. That was getting incredibly annoying. So I'm glad that stopped.
There's real aggression on your face right now. So
seriously, that is like the most annoying part of the whole series is like Jeff Green is killing us, and that is just annoying. Is the best way to put it.
It's awful. It's awful. Jesse, we had several guys step up today. Who was your Thunder player of the game?
I think Dennis would probably be the easy answer, but I'm still going to pick SGA. I was hard on him early in the series. I liked the rebounding effort today. He still had the points. I've just been really impressed with him. I think after game 1, I was really down on him because I just didn't feel like he was attacking at all. And since then, we've seen, the 30-point game. He was back at it again today. So he's just really impressed me after that first game.
You love to see it. Cody, who was your player of the game?
I got to pick Dennis for the second straight game. 30 points off the bench, playoff career high for him. He was just shooting lights out, 10 to 16 like we see there. He played a great game. Can't really ask for more from someone off the bench. But even on both ends of the floor, even on defense, he's just always scrappy, picking people up full court. He's playing out of his mind right now, and I just hope it continues.
I think all of us feel the same exact way. Bobby, who was your player of the game?
I'm going to keep it easy. It's Dennis Schroeder. The guy was incredible, absolutely aggressive on offense. And more than anything, when you needed a bucket, he provided it for you. He carried a lot of weight in the fourth quarter. It's definitely Dennis. Great performance out of the German.
Josh, do you disagree with that?
Nah, I mean, CP3 was awesome. Again, I'll give him some love. He's point guard mode right now. These last two, he's playing awesome. But Dennis with the 30 piece, I mean, he's balling out. And I was pretty hard on him because the first two games he was very bad. I mean, those first two games and the sequence in game 2 at the end of the third quarter where he had several brutal turnovers that kind of led to the Rockets blowing it up run. It was like Dennis needs to be a lot better, and he's been the best player on the floor at key spots of these last two games. He's been awesome for us.
Our man Hunter says that was epic. I don't know if he's
talking
about the show or the game. Maybe both.
Both.
All right, guys. Game 5, Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. We are back in the evening time on TNT. Thunder winning this thing, Bobby?
It's tough. I don't know. We don't have the virtual fans on our side. A series doesn't start until you win on the virtual road. But I'm going to go with optimism until I see Houston make an adjustment that starts to slow down the way we play, or if they make an adjustment that isn't bombing threes, that is sustainable. Russell Westbrook comes in, maybe. But for right now, where I stand, riding off this hype, yes, Thunder win Game 5, and we move on to that Game 6. Either way, this is a series, folks.
I agree. And shout out to imp35_buckets because you rock, bro. All right.
Is that 35 KD, though?
No, it's something else.
No.
Thunder winning this thing, Game 5?
I think that they definitely have a good shot. We definitely have the momentum right now. There's something to be said. You could even say that we could be up 3-1 right now if we had any type of offense in Game 2. The Rockets have really come back down to earth as far as, they got hot in the third quarter tonight, but their 3-point shooting has just not been there this series. The role players aren't stepping up like they were. So I think we have a great shot to win Game 5. And I'm going to say it right now, Thunder in 6.
Oh, man.
Hey.
There we are.
Orlando.
Orlando.
There we are. Jesse, you are on the record, Thunder in 6. You still feeling that way?
Yeah, especially since we've got the scoring issues settled now. I was very scared when they were not attacking, but now that we've kind of settled into that, I mean, I also don't think you're going to get this type of showing from Gallo again. For him being one of our, I would say, most favorable matchups, he was pretty ineffective today. So I'm hoping for more in Game 5. And yeah, Thunder in 6. You guys already know. I'm on board.
We do know. Josh, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Russell Westbrook's going to be back for Game 5. They showed him doing warm-ups for Game 4, and he looked good. And he's running around on the bench like a psychopath. And he was doing the bike at the end. His look in his eye on the bike at the end, it terrified me a little bit. And I think he'll be back for Game 5. And look, after Game 2, I said no confidence in winning Game 3. And so I kept that going after Game 3 and said no confidence in Game 4. So reverse jinx is working. So 0 confidence in Game 5. We're going to lose.
I like it. We are sticking with what works here.
Exactly.
And that's it for tonight. We will be back after Game 5 Wednesday evening. Thunder going to be up in this series, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a ball on Wednesday night. Until then, this has been fun. It's been real. And we'll see you soon. Good night.